It's been a long journey, almost 12 years already that I've been doing music.
Don't want to know how much is it.
I honestly don't even know. Do voiceover sessions, all of the radio. Like I said before, I think he's just being a coward.
Is the opinion of the Americans about Russia. Hi guys, today we are in Hartford, Connecticut, and we are going to the recording studio with Kyle Pickard. Oh, this is office, and let's try to ring. And here you are. So now is night, and I think most Americans end their day at 5 p.m. but people like Kyle often work late into the night. Kyle? No. So let's see what he working on now. He works in this studio as a musician and also is building a business online. Oh, Kyle?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you. So, Kyle, could you giving us a quick tour on the studio?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the control room. This is where most of the sessions happen. The engineer sits here, gets everything done. I'll bring you over here. This is the live room. So on the other side of that, this is where all the musicians are when they're playing to record. We'll do voiceover sessions, all of the radio, anything that needs to be recorded.
Is it microphone?
Yep.
Expensive?
Yes, it is.
How much is?
Those usually run about, I would say, around $3,000.
$3,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then in the back room we got an ISO booth here. It's just another room to record in, so the smaller. It's usually the drum room as well.
Well, I need to play here.
You should be our studio drummer for all of our sessions.
Oh, piano.
Oh yeah, we also have an awesome piano in here. It's the Yamaha C6. It's just great. It just sounds so good.
I don't want to know how much is it.
I honestly don't even know.
It's good.
So once everything's recorded in there, we'll bring it into here. This is Studio B, and this is where I spend most of my time actually. We do a lot of audio editing. We'll do the mixing, things like that will happen in here. Let's see, we also do some video stuff, so like Premiere Pro we'll do in here, Photoshop, things like that, as well as most of our social media. It all happens in here.
Is it something like CEO?
Like a what?
CEO office?
No, not quite. No, this is just it's just a smaller studio to use. So then that's that one, and then just out front we have normal stuff like closets, bathrooms, stuff like that. This is the dining area, which is pretty cool. This is
for customers?
Yeah, so when we have clients come in for sessions, if it's like a long session, we'll all have lunch here, which is pretty cool. You get a chance to get to know everybody. Get out of there. And then that's pretty much it.
Okay. So let's go to make interview.
All right, let's do it. I'm excited.
Hi everybody. My name is Vlad IL. And this is a channel about business and opportunities in America. I'm from Belarus. It's a small country in Eastern Europe, near Russia, Ukraine. But now I'm in the United States for about 1 year. Today I will interview Kyle. Kyle is a full-time audio engineer and musician, correct?
Yes.
let me. Can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for stopping by. This is super cool. I'm excited. So, I mean, my story is full-time audio engineer musician, like you said. I am super grateful and happy to have a full-time job as an audio engineer right now. I actually just graduated college last year.
How many old are you?
I'm 23 right now, and so it's been a long journey, almost 12 years already that I've been doing music. So,
really?
I started when I was 10 in 5th grade. I started playing flute, and then I picked up guitar in 8th grade, piano my senior year of high school, and I started recording around the same time. And then I went to college for recording, music and sound recording. Bachelor of Arts degree is what I ended up with. And it's just what I've been doing like for over half my life now.
But now do you have two works, one here and one your own business?
Yes, yeah, you're right. So during the day, my full-time job is here as an audio engineer. But what I also do is I run, basically it's a personal brand online. So I have a flute channel that I run on YouTube that features flute covers of like popular songs, like mainstream stuff, as well as video game music or film scores. And then it kind of just depends on what people request, because I try to do whatever people want to hear. And then along with that, I also just recently started a daily vlog, which is on a separate channel on YouTube. So maybe you guys can like link it up, get it up in here.
Sure.
And so that's it's a separate channel, but it's all the same thing. It kind of just gives you an overview of like what I'm doing every day and how I do it and stuff, because I just really think that the story behind things is very, like, I think that the story of how somebody got to be this or that, or how they developed a product or something like that, I think that the behind the scenes story is really interesting. So I wanted to make a vlog to show that.
Who are your clients?
So the personal branding side, I mean the online part, it's kind of just everybody, I guess, because I'm just releasing videos for everybody. But for audio engineering, it varies between people that are trying to do like radio broadcasting, like a commercial on the radio or television. If there's a producer that's looking to do some audio, it's called ADR, so like dialogue replacement for a film, we'll do that here. So kind of it's always changing depending on what kind of work comes our way, but it just is always based around audio, and anywhere, pretty much anything that makes a sound, we'll do it.
How much you can earn? Do you have examples? For example, people who make, I don't know, maybe $1 million per month on this industry.
Okay, so I think that the best example I would have, who's of somebody who's very successful and is doing well, is Peter Hollins, and he's an a cappella musician on YouTube. And a cappella is music that has no other instruments besides just the voice, so it's like several layers of just voice tracks. And so he puts out two videos a month, and as far as I know, he's making about $15,000 per video on those.
How can he make 15,000?
So he's making money because he's created such an amazing community of people that support him, and they do that through a site called Patreon. And Patreon it's almost like Kickstarter, except it's ongoing. So instead of like a one-time payment that people donate for one project to get finished, it's just like little small payments over time that allow creators to continue doing what they're doing. So like for every music video, or for every painting, or for every, whatever something creative that can be made, people can choose to donate this amount of money to them.
Okay, what need you do to, I don't know, to be successful like Peter?
Peter Hollins.
Peter
Yeah.
Hollins.
Um,
How many years? I don't know.
well, I really think that it's the practice of mastering your craft, whatever that is. So for me, I'm on a long-term life journey to master flute, and I think especially with online stuff, it's really important to just like really get into what you're doing and know how to do it. So for me, it's not so much that I'm this great person that happens to know how to do everything. It's like when I was in high school, I was like, oh, I need to know how to record a piano. So I'd go on Google and say how to record piano, and you figure it out, you know? So it's kind of been a process of whatever came along the road that I needed to know how to do, I'd just, you know, figure out how to do that. And so I think that there's a big part of that that goes into that answer, as well as really connecting and caring about the people that support what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't give them love in return, it means nothing. Like, it just means nothing. Mm-hmm. And they probably won't stick around for very long either. I think it's really important to say that we're in such an interesting time right now where we have the internet, and like the fact that I can be here making this video with you right now is just amazing, because you know, you don't have the same situation that you did even 30 years ago, 10 years ago, where it was like you know, record labels and recording studios get to choose who gets heard. Now we have the internet, so everybody can release music. I can go release music, and anybody can release, you know, whatever they want, blog posts or videos or anything. And so I think that you just really have to tune into the people that are responding to what you're putting out, and you know, really create a community with them.
Did I understand correctly that YouTube is your main channel attracting customer for you?
Yeah. So I didn't touch on that too much, but what Patreon generally for me, as well as Peter Hollins and other people, is it's connected to YouTube. So I release the video on YouTube, and then it's paid for through Patreon. So it's a little confusing there, but YouTube is like the main part of like if my online thing is a meal, the YouTube is like my steak, and then I have, you know, my potatoes is like Facebook, and green beans is Twitter. I know that's kind of weird, but yeah, YouTube is definitely like the main source, but then I also distribute that content everywhere else too.
Yeah, YouTube now is a good platform for a lot of
yeah. I mean, it's the second largest search engine on the internet behind Google, which are both by, you know, the same company pretty much.
Could you give us some special advices that is now working to promote your channel and your services on YouTube? You want like really like practical things? Yeah, exactly, practical.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So, let me see if I can come up with some. So I would say one of the best and easiest things that you could do to start with is, first of all, I think it's really important to be on every platform as whatever it is that you're doing. So for me, you can find Kyle Pickard music or some variation of that on pretty much everything. And the reason for that is that you don't know who's going to be looking for what you're providing where. So, you know, it's not, just like I was saying, in addition to the last question, it's not just putting the video on YouTube, but it's putting the video on YouTube and then putting links to that on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Reddit, like whatever else you can find to put it on. And then also creating, like, you need to be able to storytell natively on the platforms. So like a YouTube link to Facebook doesn't really do that well. But if you take that same video and upload it natively to Facebook, yeah, your view count gets a little weird because you have it on YouTube and Facebook. But I personally don't feel like it even matters in the long run, because it's more important that people are seeing it. And so it's a lot easier for Facebook videos to be seen on Facebook as they're meant to be versus just a YouTube link that's going to ship them out of YouTube, because obviously Facebook doesn't want that. They want you to stay within their platform. So so the first one is just be on every platform. I'd say that's the first tip. The second one is to make your branding the same across all your platforms. So like your profile picture, if you have any channel art or like the Facebook cover photos, all of that kind of stuff, it needs to match and look the same for whatever it is that you're doing. And that makes it really easy for people to find you. Mm-hmm. Let me see. The third thing is you have to be consistent for sure. So you can't, like if you're doing YouTube videos, you can't just upload whenever you want. You can't just say like, oh, let me just do one today. If you record that way, that's fine. But for uploading, it's like really important for the YouTube algorithm as well as for your subscribers to know when you're going to upload a new one.
How many years are you on YouTube?
I think my first video went up about 4 years ago now. Mm-hmm. I started doing it seriously about a year and a half ago.
How are you feel when you don't have, for example, subscribers? When you could you describe your first steps on YouTube? Is it difficult? You have your first video. You don't have subscribers. How can you? I don't know.
So, yeah. Okay. So let me run with that. I think the first thing that anybody that's just brand new starting out, I think you have to understand that it's not going to be an overnight thing. You can't just make one video and expect a billion people to just show up at your channel and do it. That's the first thing. You have to understand that it's a mindset shift, that like this is going to be a long process. Maybe something will happen, overnight and you make a viral video and it brings a lot of attention, but for the most part, that's not going to happen. So you have to be okay with that process. And then but when it actually comes down to making YouTube videos, you can't overthink it. Like you just cannot overthink what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that so many people are overthinking that. And I used to be that way for most of my YouTube career, and I'm just like so happy to say that I'm not there anymore. But it's the idea that like right now we have 2 cameras set up with nice audio and lighting and things like that, but at the end of the day, like no offense to you, but like at the end of the day, that's not what matters. What matters is what we're actually saying. So it doesn't matter if it's like a nice production like this, or if it's just like me holding up my phone making a video like this with shaky video. That doesn't matter, because it's the content that matters. So you have to be focused on what you're actually putting out there, not how.
Any advices, any tips more, or
I think I think I have one more thing to say. The number one thing that I feel that has gotten me to where I am right now is being optimistic. And I know that that's like such a cheesy thing to just, say, mm-hmm. but it really is true. And it's not so much about like, oh, you need to be optimistic. You need to look at the bright side. Like, yes, it is that, but it's a lot deeper than that. It's more about a belief in yourself, a belief in the world, having a belief in the people around you, that everything's going to be fine. And knowing that even if things aren't fine, you're going to be able to figure it out. Because life is a long time, and I know that everybody has struggles. Literally everybody, including me and you and anybody that is watching this. It happens. That's just life. And I think that for us to bow down to the struggles and to succumb to just, well, this is how it is, like this sucks, and I'm not going to be able to do this. I really just think it's being a coward, because like you just owe it to yourself to believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it. Otherwise, you might as well not do it at all. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I don't know. It's not so much about like, the the cup half empty or half full. It's accepting that, like, if the cup is half full or half empty, it's accepting that is the way it is, but then also realizing, well, the cup's half full, so I still have however much of this liquid, whether it's poison or water or who knows what. It's like you have it, but then you should be grateful that you have a cup at all, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if I explained that well enough, but it's just the concept that you have to believe that everything's going to work out, even when it makes no sense. And that's especially true for what I talked about for YouTube. Like, yeah, it makes no sense that somebody's gonna like this video of me just going like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, I'm here," but do it anyway, because eventually you're gonna figure out how to make it better. Eventually, you're going to learn the better ways to do it, and you're gonna feel better about doing it. And then even if this isn't your thing, you'll find something else to do, but you'll never know if you just sit there and don't try it all.
Interesting question for you. I think that the next question will be very interesting for Russian speaking subscribers.
Okay.
So what is the opinion of the Americans about Russia?
Like about the country or people, or
about country and people who live here.
Oh, I don't think I could answer that. Like, honestly, I don't feel like I know enough to answer that. Like, there's a saying, "Stay in your lane." This is a time for me to stay in my lane because I don't know.
So no, it's bad. It's bad answer. You need to answer. It's my interview, and you need to answer.
I'm not going to. I can't answer that.
Americans don't have any opinion about Russians. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of opinions about Russia. I think that a lot of them are ignorant opinions, and like some of them are based in truth, some of them are based in half truth, but like, as for what those opinions are, I don't really know. It's not something that I like talk about much. It's not. I just don't know enough about it to really give you an answer.
Okay. Okay. At the end of video, I would ask you, what would you like to wish our subscribers? Give your most strong, I don't know, advice, tips for our young, for example, subscriber who make only the first steps in business, maybe in a YouTube channel, creating something else.
Okay. I think what I would have to say is that, like, if you are young and watching this, if you are old and watching this, if you are alive and watching this, if there's something that you want out of life, I don't think you're living unless you're pursuing that. I think doing anything else is just, like I said before, I think it's just being a coward. I think that you owe it to yourself to pursue what you want out of life. And if you're not in a situation to do that, then I think you need to do everything you possibly can to be in that kind of situation. And when you're on your path, you have to understand that it's going to be hard. Going for something that you really want out of life, and to have the audacity to create a life for yourself to live that truly makes you happy will not be an easy journey. And I think you just have to be able to accept that and then work from there. So you're going to fail a lot. And that's something that's said so often, but you have to understand that, like, you're going to fail a lot. And those fails are really not failures. They're more just the next part of the journey, Mm-hmm. And through every failure, you learn something, or you don't. But for the most part, you should be learning something. And you keep moving forward and then you never make that mistake again, whatever brought you there. Or, you know, if you're doing business stuff, you're going to have failed businesses. Like I already have 2 or 3 of them that didn't work out very well. And I don't really consider myself even like a business person per se, but you know, it's having the grit and the work ethic to work for what you want and not expect it to just come to you, but then also being willing to work through the failures and not dwelling on them for so long. Because if you dwell on the failures, then you just lose time, you lose efficiency, you lose your passion, you lose your drive, and you just need to keep moving forward and you never give up, no matter what. Keep moving forward and you never give up.
Great. Thank you very much, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you.
I wish you good luck, and I trust you will successful because
Thank you.
Because I know about this. Really. Thank you,
Thank
Kyle.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to reach out to me and talk about anything, feel free. I'm on pretty much every social media. Kyle Pickard Music, K-Pick Music, whatever. Maybe we can put some links up here too. But I'm around. I'm everywhere on the internet, so find me.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.